This is a Podco original.
What was I talking about? How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Where are you from?
You don't trust yourself to be able to riff at such a high level of intelligence.
I'm worried about you guys.
Do you believe in God?
Well,
Why did we go here?
Listen,
have you ever been canceled?
We're all out of tips, guys. And we're on a podcast.
Oh, no.
No, don't change. Stay exactly as you are.
God. We were just talking about that. How when I start doing the podcast, when I start doing Big Name Bitches, I just totally change. I thought I'd be so natural, yeah. With like just I don't know. Some days I am, but some days I'm like really striving for something to say, and I'm it's just a lot of hums, and ha's.
Well, that's crazy because you're natural to talk to. Like
what?
Hey, let's introduce our guest for those who don't know. She is so memorable, of
guys,
course.
Very special guest today, our Podco family,
guest.
and I think we all grew up watching you.
How dare you? I'm not that old.
We were the same.
What the fuck? Wait, I'm 40. I'm almost 40. How old are you?
Okay.
I'm 35. Just turned 35.
I guess you could have grown up.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's
right.
Listen, I'm 35 though.
Okay.
I'm right there
Lindsay's
with
You know
you.
what's
Right
so
here,
funny
right
too?
here.
I was like, you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about how great it is to turn 40, like how positive I feel about, like how comfortable, and like
And
right
then
now,
right out the gate,
I'm like sad about my age.
Did you call me old?
You know what I mean?
Listeners at home, we have Anneliese Vanderpool on the pod.
Anneliese Vanderpool.
I feel like she is the unicorn and the sparkle emoji brought to life.
I agree,
Do you know what I
especially
mean?
with this
God.
purple outfit.
I
you're
know.
rocking.
And your
this
hair
going
looks
on?
so good. I love the color.
I'm so hot right now, you guys. I'm sweating. My pits are gross.
No.
But you look
yeah.
comfy and casual.
It's super.
wouldn't know.
I'm comfortable, but I forgot how hot it is in this effing studio.
It can't get warm.
It's
It
so
can't get warm.
fucking
Take
hot.
your shoes off.
Okay, what else do you want me to take off?
It's like, we're starting there, huh?
Hey, I want to give you my ice pack.
Yeah, that does feel better. I did. I'm gonna take my socks off.
Yeah,
too.
baby.
You gotta let it breathe where you
Babe,
can.
people think I have a foot fetish. It's only because I overheat.
I just have feet.
I overheat.
I like feet. I don't know if I have a fetish, but I get that. I feel like I know what every star or actor's hands and feet, if I've seen them, look like. You know what I mean?
Seen them up close.
No, I don't know what you mean.
She like takes a photo of it in her mind.
I know, it's something I noticed.
Daniel,
like,
put your hands on the table and tell me how gorgeous that man's hands are.
They're long and big and
My
gorgeous.
goodness.
Yes, those are fantastic.
Hey.
I know his hands.
Like I could tell you, like when you say Emma Stone, like I know what her hand looks like.
That is
You know
weird.
what I mean?
All right, Anne Hathaway.
Absolutely, I know what her hands look like because I just saw that movie.
Idea of you?
Wait, Eileen?
Idea of
Eileen.
you.
Oh, what's Eileen?
Dude, Eileen is this like, okay, it was a girl from Jojo Rabbit.
Okay,
That amazing, like, that, whatever. She's just wonderful.
Wait. Somebody tell me what Jojo Rabbit is.
The Taika Waititi World War II.
And
Anyway.
she was she was the girl in it who just was so peaceful and whatever. So her and Anne Hathaway are in it, and it's like this like
Okay.
like kind of thing. It's really weird. It's about like authority and power and ladies and men and fantasy scenes.
Okay,
And it's like,
did it just come out?
2023.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, so it did.
Wait,
All right.
It was a war movie, right? I mean, or like a I'm tripping.
No, what
I
was?
don't know
No,
either.
I don't know anything
She was
about
talking
Eileen.
about Jojo Rabbit. Oh no,
She's talking about Eileen.
I'm talking about Eileen.
Okay.
It is set in a prison.
I know nothing about that, but she
No,
just
I
had
was
a
talking
rom-com
about the
drop
idea
called
of
The
you.
Idea of You.
Yes, a rom-com drop. I mean,
It just came out.
I saw it, it's
My
it's
bad.
like all those movies, right?
Right.
Why am I reviewing a movie nobody asked me to review?
No, I
No, please
appreciate
do.
that there's some rom-coms coming out because I feel like for years there was none, and that's a genre I'm not mad at.
No, but it's more rom. I'd say it's like rom.
Oh.
Rom.
Oh,
Rom. It's not a rom-com.
It's heavy on the rom.
At all. I didn't find it funny at all. Maybe I missed something.
Got
But,
it. More of just a
It's
rom.
a romanco.
A rom
it's a
drum.
Romanco. Okay.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a podcast company, but I'm just kidding. Anyway,
I find that weird that you know what everyone's hands look like.
I know. I don't know why. It's like something I really pay attention to. Like, okay, so I just saw Zendaya did the Challengers. Did you guys see that?
I didn't see
the
it.
Challengers. Oh my God, I just did a skit and I put it on Instagram. It's like got no likes, but I think it's hilarious. Does that happen to you? Like
all the time.
Okay, right.
All the time.
Like the
Gets overlooked.
all the time,
It's
and
not
it
just
hurts.
me. I know, right? Well,
No, it
what
hurts.
does it mean though? Does that just mean the world's stupid?
Yes.
Or- yeah,
that's
does
the
it?
best,
Yes.
I mean,
and the satisfaction I get from posting what I actually like as opposed to this dumbass sound.
Yeah.
I like posting everything, but like,
Yeah.
damn, my original content gets no love.
yeah, I have to. It's only my hate content, like my teasing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and, like people are so mad at me that I
You've
get
been killing
so
with
many
that, though.
comments. You know what I mean? It's like the only way to get more
That is
followers.
the hate,
where I'm
right,
like,
right.
I don't care. I'm like, yeah, I'm laughing at the bank.
Yeah,
but,
the internet's mean.
yeah, but yeah, I just did this post about the challengers, and I would just watch it. And like, they have this music, this artist.
Trent Reznor.
Yes,
yeah,
yes, and like
Atticus
I
Ross.
fucking love it, right? But you cannot hear the dialogue. Like, and I'm like, yeah, but no, totally, I love this song, but what the fuck is
she
Zendaya saying? What's happening? And I know it's not like genius writing, like that's not what it's about. It's actually, I think it's for like 12-year-olds to like jerk off to or something. You know,
Jesus.
well.
But,
I mean, it's
yeah,
like
I mean-
nothing. It's so nothing. They're like sweating. You know, I'm like, okay, but it's not for me. The movie's not for me. Anyway, I did a skit where Jono and I are kind of giving a fake review about it. And I don't know why I'm talking about this because it's going to already be out there. We should be saving this for something really in depth. Like,
No, this is great. We can talk about anything.
okay, good. What was I talking about?
The challengers post that you made.
I made a challenge.
my
I know, right?
God.
This is what happens
No,
to
this
me
is
and
what I always
Christy.
say. I lost the plot. Lost the
Lost
plot.
the plot. You know who saves you?
Me and Daniel. No, Lindsay will be.
You got
No,
Lindsay?
I literally will be in the middle
Lindsay
of
will
like
be
I read out of her.
75 miles an hour down a thought and then just stop. Her face goes blank and
What
she
was
goes,
it?
"What was I talking about?"
I know. Like, what do you think? You think that's like drug use or like?
Absolutely.
Honestly, I'm like talking to myself now. I'm
No,
like,
no,
yeah, no,
what
I mean,
I'm
happened?
fearful that it might be dementia. Like
Early onset. I know,
I'm not
no,
even kidding.
onset, like,
onset.
no, I know. And then I think about my mom, like repeating
Oh,
herself. My mom would always go like, okay, she'd call me and she'd be like, okay, Anneliese, I know you get really mad when I forget what I'm saying to you. So I've put a list together. I've taken notes and I'll be really, really quick, which makes me sound like the worst daughter ever. And I was, but, anyway, challengers. I did this video, this review where we're reviewing it, and right when we're gonna get to the juicy part, that music comes in, and you can't hear anything Jono and I are saying, basically.
amazing.
And it, it has no love, but I don't know why I brought that up. But yeah,
sounds like a
challengers
good one.
is great.
Maybe a lot of people just haven't seen
Exactly.
I
That's
haven't
it
seen
too.
it yet.
Totally.
Right.
There's a bunch of reasons.
But,
Yeah.
So they did the score. They've done a lot of scores, and I really like their scores. They did a score for the Social Network, which is so good.
Oh God, because I'm so old, my legs like popping.
Oh yeah,
my God, I'm
baby.
okay, but
And
whoa.
and they did that volume thing actually like consciously in the Social Network, and it was one of the first times I had seen it where they made the score so loud. There's a conversation between Jesse Eisenberg and Justin Timberlake at a club. And it's the first time I saw that used actually realistically, which is like you can't hear them well, and they're like shouting this conversation at each other.
I remember.
I laugh now when I watch like club scenes and people are having like a normal voice conversation. It's like that's not what it's
not
like
how it
when
is
it's
in the
out.
club.
You can't
No.
fucking have a subtle conversation with someone.
No, it's
that's why I
so
don't
it's
like
still
going
like that
out.
at the clubs.
Yeah,
It's still
that's
at
what
the
I
club.
don't like
Yes.
about.
I guess I haven't. When's the last time you went to a club?
A club?
Or clear.
In San Antonio.
Daniel was there a week ago.
Oh my God, tell me
I
about
was
that.
at the Lucky Duck.
You guys,
Oh,
how?
yeah,
So
I
you
got lucky.
did a Comic-Con, right?
We did
Yeah,
a nostalgia con. Yeah.
Daniel was the only one who saw the inside
The
of the Lucky
club.
Duck.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Wait,
No,
wait,
Lindsay and I
what?
were nope.
The Lucky Duck. It was nice, man.
I was rested.
What's
They
the
know how to
Lucky
party,
Duck?
and it was just a club in
Okay.
San Antonio. But I had went with my cousin. He's like, oh yeah, it's one of my favorite like clubs in town. And so we go in and we're having a good time. It's solid. And then the night's ending, right? So I'm leaving, and as I'm leaving, a cop goes, "Hey, you!" I'm like, "Oh shoot! What did I do? Did I not pay my bill or whatever?" So I turn around and he's like, "You're a cookie, right?" I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I am. You know? And I
Gosh,
go up.
that's good stand-up, right?
And
You
what,
were
you got like a free bottle there?
Well,
That was the next night,
No,
yeah.
so I
That was
spoke
the
with
next
him,
night he went to the
went
club.
to another club, and they sent like this person, like a envoy, like him and like two other people, and they came and
The
grabbed me
police
out
officer?
They were like talking
envoy?
over there, but then these guys just came from the club. And they're like, "Yo, we want to get you a champagne bottle if you come back to our club." Da-da-da-da. I'm like, "I can't do it tonight. But we're in town. Maybe I'll bring Devin and Lindsay. Maybe." I was like, "Lindsay, I know she won't come, but maybe I'll bring Devin by the next night or whatever." And then I went and they showed me love. Came out with the bottle girls doing the dance and everything. Put
I
cookie
love
on the
that.
thing.
Oh my
and I was
God,
like,
I love that.
I will accept this.
Yes.
Had a good old time. Yeah.
He didn't take that
Are
Lucky
you?
Duck hat off for days.
Oh, I kept it on the whole time.
Are you? I forget. You're not single, right?
No, I'm not. No.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my lady was with
he was
me.
there
She
with his
came
girl.
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like wondering. Interesting.
Yeah.
she was there.
Wondering how that played out.
All right.
Hey.
I need to tell your girls.
No, I was just like, I don't know, like not drinking, like going to a club and being sober just sounds horrible.
No, that genuinely does.
Yeah.
Going to a
No,
club
it's
and not
horrible.
drinking.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, or just because that's literally what that is. Like
No,
you're gonna
that's
have
the
a
point.
good time.
Yeah, right.
It's not like being in a restaurant and eating
No,
food
You
as
are
well.
literally not on the same wavelength as
Anybody, yeah.
No,
yeah,
that shouting conversations can only be accompanied with alcohol. Like,
Yeah, because you wouldn't do it.
you wouldn't, you're just like, I'm gonna go because I'm having to shout my information at someone. How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Where are you from? Albuquerque.
You guys, I was always the dickhead who was like high on like cocaine or like Adderall and who's trying to have like, so what do you believe in? Like in the corner of the club, like, come here. And like a
have you
little,
ever thought
Do you
about being-
believe in God?
and I'd be like,
yeah.
here's what we should, and I'd be trying to have all of these, just trying to find myself in the club, high,
Yeah,
you know?
Wrong
yeah.
place.
Ooh,
And
God, I
it
just
was
like.
the
Do you ever
wrong-
get like I just felt like a wave of depression like go through my body. You know what I
Thinking
mean? Like
about-
being at a
PTSD.
club.
Thinking about
Yeah, just like thinking
those
of
Your
like,
club experience. Like, when's the last time you've been to a
I
club?
actually have talked to Christy about this, and like, because she had a club experience, but I don't know if I had a club experience. I was more of like an introvert who did drugs at home by myself.
That's the right way to do it.
Yeah. Oh, that was.
Oh, dear.
Hey, there we go. Make it
you
snap.
guys are the nerdiest drug addicts ever.
I know. I mean, I had fun times too. I did Molly and went to clubs and I did that a lot with theater, which was always fun because somehow I could do that. I could do a show, then go to a club and do Molly, go to sleep, wake up and do the same thing over again. Like that was crazy. And those were fun times. Like, thank
Those
gosh
are New
nothing
York
happened
times,
to
right?
New York times, but
can't
also
do that
like a
in
lot
LA.
of regional theater, like Texas, totally in Texas. Texas, and we'd be dancing for hours. I'd be with one of the most fabulous, gay dancers, the best dancers on Broadway now,
Oh, that's a fun
who
night
would
out.
throw me around, and it was fun. It was fun. But like, actually, I went to a wedding recently where Coke was kind of flying around, and I had zero interest. I was like, wow, I guess I'm really past this. I mean, obviously, I'm sober, but
Hell yeah.
Maturity.
But yeah, I was like, oh, it sounds awful. I just know 10 minutes later I'll be back.
Yeah.
And it'll be this awkward thing where you're not giving it to me and I'm like stealing it from you
Right.
and then
Oh my
stealing your
gosh,
car
the amount.
so I can buy more.
I gotta have it.
Like, yeah. Like, it's a drug, it's a poison. Like, it'll get you.
Oh, yeah.
Depressing. Why did we go here?
Listen.
Oh my God.
It's gonna
Why
go.
did we go here?
We can't
gonna go.
control
It's
where,
life.
where
It's the
this
way
thing
life works.
goes.
It's the way
I
life
like that
works.
somebody else did drugs by themselves in their apartments. Like, I truly felt like the only one for so long.
Oh, no.
Would literally just like lock myself in there with an 8-ball and like floss my teeth until they bled.
Oh, honey. I know. And like just
do weird painting.
Yeah. Oh my God. Weird painting. One time, because I mean, it's not that big of a thing, but I basically painted the inside of my house like black, you guys. Like,
Your actual house?
yeah, like the inside of my house, like not black because that sounds so stupid, but basically black,
Yeah,
like a
charcoal.
very dark teal, like a very dark teal,
Okay.
like a very dark forest green.
So no light could catch.
Yeah, and I didn't even own the place. You know what I mean? It's like what, and that's costly when they have to paint over that shit. But yeah, just like bad decisions. But also there was a time when we were probably addicted and doing it every day. So of course there's times doing it alone, and doing it and hiding it was always so difficult, right?
my
But
God.
I did. I
Oh my
did
God.
for a long time
So
until
long.
maybe I didn't. Maybe I thought I was,
Yeah.
and then I wasn't.
I definitely was.
Wow, did you guys realize this would be just about Lindsay and I
And I
tagging?
just-
You guys are going
Those
back and
drug
forth.
days.
What about your drug use?
Never did cocaine, but really love psychedelics.
Oh, cool.
Burning
Like
Man.
ayahuasca. Have you done any of that? I would never do that now.
I shrooms, once, but I was more a marijuana guy.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that was
yeah,
my
yeah.
vice.
Yeah.
Daniel told some of the most entertaining bad trip shroom
Ridiculous
stories
shroom stories. My
I've ever
guy.
heard in my life on this podcast. We'll
Yeah. I'll
put the-
we'll put the link in the
yeah,
bio.
we'll put the link in the bio.
I don't want to relive that, man. Those
That's actually where
interdimensional
our
space
infamous
demons.
cancellation.
Oh yeah, well. It was.
What?
Wait,
No,
no, it
was
was
it?
after.
It wasn't
was
about
after
that.
No, oh, kinda. Yeah, it's there.
Which cancellation are you talking about? I'm just kidding. I mean, whoa.
Getting canceled like
Question.
flights.
Have
boy.
you ever, first of all,
canceled?
we don't need to like rehash this. Have you ever been
Canceled?
canceled?
Canceled? I don't think so. Not yet.
Oh, great.
Not
Oh,
yet.
yes.
I mean, no. I mean, people say horrible things on my TikToks and stuff.
People are mean.
People are crazy.
mean.
I mean, what are you gonna do? They're crazy. I mean, they must be
So
Yeah,
sad.
not-
How do you deal?
be so
Like,
sad.
how do you deal? Because like, there's no way we're 100% never seeing a comment. You know what I mean?
Totally. And I don't really look at comments. But I really, honestly, how do I deal? I think doing this podcast, being part of Podco, has made me incredibly strong. I think I'm just I don't know why I don't care anymore. I just think people are unwell. I mean, my mother said the worst things you could say to me. I can't imagine somebody saying something worse.
That cuts me.
Man, I'm a pretty tough cookie. I mean, somebody said something the other day like, sorry, it's just because I was on my TikTok and it came down, when the comment comes down. So I only read some of it. I don't even know what the rest of it said, but it was something like, I bet she, it's not even that funny. I bet she doesn't pay her taxes or pay her rent. I was like, what? And I was like, what comment?
Weird flex. Okay. Well then.
I was like,
That's an assertion.
I was like, first of all, I own my home.
One
and
out
I own
of
it.
two.
I own it outright.
Nice.
But I was like, pay my taxes. I was like, I'm a liberal. Like, I really believe in taxes. I believe in EDD. I believe in all of that shit. But it was just so funny. It was so specific. And I was like, this is hilarious. Like, I don't know what somebody could say. Anyway, I just don't, I most of the times don't care.
I appreciate when they make me laugh. Like that would make me
Right,
laugh.
yes,
like,
and it
I
did.
appreciate when it's like
It did. And I was like, what could that have been off of? Like, I wonder, maybe they just saw my house and like, I've been.
What was that jumping off point? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've been doing some redecorating and I have some art like kind of on the couch, not like quite hung yet. And I was like, maybe that's it. I don't know.
No, I think
But
it's just
it's
you
gratitude,
wilding
like,
out on TikTok. You know,
totally,
they're just
totally.
being an asshole.
I think the way, like you're asking, how do you deal with that? And I'd ask all of you the same. But I think I'm just genuinely happy. I'm like really happy in my life. I'm financially secure, which is always a weight. Life is way easier. And I'm approaching 40,
Must
and
be
I
nice.
I got
You just got engaged.
I just got
yes,
engaged.
yes.
Yeah, like I feel like my life is
Congrats.
my own. I can make my own choices. I don't have to answer to
Absolutely.
anybody right now. And not everyone has that luxury. I feel very grateful. I look at my house every day. I'm like, I can't believe I own this outright. I don't have to pay rent. I don't have to.
How are you financially secure?
Well, I mean,
Can I have a class on it?
It's like, no, I
don't
mean
be silly.
how? Like,
Honestly,
how?
big
How?
name bitches make so much. Everything. I have jobs. I teach.
No.
I'm just fucking with you.
And I bought my house in 2004. You know, and I didn't buy it outright, but I've had it for 20 years.
Yeah.
Our show
I put my
was-
money right into
Our
property.
show was
Wow.
premiering in 2004.
Exactly,
I was
exactly.
13.
But that's the advice I always give young people is about investing. And I really, I think women especially, I don't know why they don't teach us in schools, even in colleges. I know college
Learning all this
graduates.
bullcrap.
Right, they don't teach you, and even just like a high yield savings account. Like even if you think you don't have a lot of money, if your money is not making money, even if it's not that much money, you should still be getting some interest back. That's not cents, not what Chase Bank gives you. You need to
Exactly.
find a high yield savings account. How many times do you hear somebody say to you, "Oh my gosh, if you had just put $25 a month since you were 12 years old or something," and like, why can't we? Why can't we teach 12-year-olds to save?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
my
Especially the ones
friend-
working.
Yeah.
My friend Tori Dunlap, she's like a millennial finance expert, and I had her on growing up that I had you on,
Yes,
and
yes.
that was one of her biggest financial tips. She got lucky. She said her parents taught her financial literacy like in her early 20s. They like literally were like, "Here's how you do it." And her handle for a long time, I think it still is her first 100K. She had a goal of having 100,000 in savings, I think by like 26.
Wow.
And she hit it,
Did it.
surpassed it,
Yeah.
and now like teaches about it. But she got lucky. Her parents were like, no, this is the most important thing you're gonna learn as an adult.
Yeah.
We're gonna teach you financial literacy.
Yeah, to life, and I love that, to financial literacy. That there's an actual term for it. And,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Tell me about your mother.
Oh no,
Lindsay Oprah.
Lopra.
you first.
Oh, it's a painful,
Reverse card.
painful relationship.
But you still have a relationship.
Yeah.
Is she alive?
Yeah.
Obviously, sorry. I'm just like assuming your mom's dead because my mom's dead. Is
Oh,
she
is
alive?
she?
Yeah. So
Oh, I'm so
But-
sorry.
it's all right.
I guess I just wanted to know more of like, I wanted to go into that thing where you were like,
She said the worst things to you.
yeah.
Yeah. My mom was a very complicated woman. I think she was. My sister's a therapist now and has diagnosed her probably as bipolar. And I don't know if stage 1 or 2. I actually recently learned, I was like, my sister was like, I think mom was bipolar, bipolar. There's bipolar 1 and 2. And I go, oh, she was definitely 2. And she's like, wait. Bipolar 2's not worse, Lisa. It's actually, she's like, it's actually better. It's actually the lesser of the two. It's a little less.
just like,
yeah, I'm like, oh,
she was code red bipolar.
She was bipolar 3.
So I learned a little bit that day, but yeah.
Tripolar.
She just really did not have control over emotions. And I'm recently have been writing about it a lot, which has been, sort of hard and interesting as well. And, but very funny, a very funny woman, just could fly off the seat of her, just could lose her brush and go nuts. Wow. Just misplace her brush or something and go absolutely crazy. Yeah.
So did she kind of have this high, because you have this beautiful high energy. Is that something that she, just the dose of the,
She did, but she was
chaotic.
shy. She was funny and shy, but shy and not well, really not well. And I think her father wasn't well, but and was also undiagnosed. But she had a big personality, but was way too scared. So through her children, it's that same story. Like, I wonder, do we have the same story about our parents? Like, I don't know. Like, were they? When you think of, I was just talking about this, or writing about this, and I was thinking like child star. Like when you hear child star, it's like always a negative thing. It's always the same thing. You guys have probably talked about this, And I wonder, is it like, do we all have Jennette McCurdy's story? Like, are we all? I don't think so. No. Oh, okay. You're going to tell me. Go.
No, my parents.
I might.
Yeah, she's somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Daniel and I know.
I love my folks, man. They really sacrifice a lot.
Well, you
to
do
try to,
seem like the most normal of the four. I would go most normal. Second.
I don't want to say normal. I'll just say.
Let's say that I'm going to say it. No, I'm just kidding. I had to do it for the joke.
I appreciate it.
No, I had to do it for the
I'm just
joke.
going to say regulated.
You have no idea how fucking crazy I am.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm
can
pretty
tell,
nuts.
like-
I've done some crazy shit. Like, I did not mean anything by that.
No.
Like,
Absolutely
Okay.
didn't. That was a great joke.
See, we're all laughing. That's cool. So, tell me about your parents. Or
We recently had my mom on the podcast.
Yeah, she was just here before you came in.
But no, I've fully reflected on it over the years, like how rare and lucky I was that my parents were in full support of my career, but because it was coming through me, it was like they wanted to, it happened really organically. It was like, oh, this kid's funny. Let's put, like, do you want to do community theater? And I was like, yes.
I love community
And then had
theater.
success there. And that led to an agent. Then I booked a commercial. And then it had this progression.
And they saw that you wanted it driving you. Yeah,
that
ambition.
and supported it without being that, like, my mom was always checking in with me about, like, do you still want to do this? And then especially as I started to, like, grow up, she would always be like, are you sure you still want to pursue this? It would be like, do you want to go back
Wow.
do you want to go to college? Like,
Your happiness was most important, sounds
yes.
like. Yeah.
So I'm so grateful. And she was watching out for us on the set, and she was watching out for everyone and me. And I think Daniel had kind of similar parents, right?
Yeah, very yeah,
raising
same
your
story.
hand is
Pretty much.
So I just want to talk to you. So sorry.
No.
Did you ever experience any like jealousy with your mom or like with any of your family? And did you feel like you were pushed to perform before you wanted to, or this is a path you always would have taken?
It's like so complicated. It's a lot of what Devin's saying. It's I almost always call you Devon.
You can.
Devon.
Devon because of
That's
so
my
Raven.
cooler name.
No, I'm not calling you Devon. Sorry. Let me
DEVAUGHN.
Devon.
Wait, what did you ask me again? I'm sorry.
Jealousy. You were
Was there
inquiring
ever
about
any
jealousy.
like
Jealousy?
weird jealous
Oh, yeah,
aspect
so my
with
mother,
your mom?
no, my mother was so crazy and complicated. First of all, she was really smart. Like I said, she was really funny. She was an avid theater goer, very, very artistic, interesting. She kind of reminds me of Laurie Metcalf in that movie, Lady Bird. Like really understood the power of giving back and being of service, well-traveled, liberal, a bunch of things. But manipulative, was not concerned about the happiness. It was only if she was happy. She was not jealous of me, didn't know, but jealous of the other kids getting roles when I wouldn't, worried about if I needed to borrow like a t-shirt from a friend for an audition or something, she'd have me lie and say I wasn't going an audition because she was so scared that other kid would go on that audition. Like that's kind of a sense of her. But no, tell me about that.
No, it's just this sense of like, like achieving something that we set out to do in a high functioning like way, right? Like coming out with something high vibing and then sort of like still like, my mom would make little comments like to everybody, like looks, talent. I had looks, talent, and a figure, and I gave them all to her, and like I'm the reason, sort of blah 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 blah, and just like these little things at home where it's like you weren't looking out for my main good. You were jealous of the fact that I feel like you thought I didn't do any work. Like my family kind of just thought like because I didn't make my living by the toil of my hands, you know, that I was somehow like just like not worthy of the amount of money that I was getting. And I just always felt this thing from my mom that she just like wasn't in my corner, you know?
Honey, I'm so sorry.
She would always say, like the money started to separate us so bad. And that's when I felt like she wasn't in my corner. And she started to just be like all about like this money and like her own escapes as opposed to keeping eyes on me and being like, hey, you're taking thousands of dollars a month out of your account. Like, what are you doing with that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like buying cocaine every fucking day and you're the one looking over my finances.
Oh my God.
Because you're doing something fucking weird with my finances too, you're not gonna fucking keep eyes on me because you're keeping a secret.
Right.
So it's like you just never had your best interest in mind, even though like
which is already a weird conversation.
We moved out, not because of you, but I would have stayed in school, you know? Like there wasn't a part of me that was like, I have to do this. You don't understand. Like, this is me.
Yeah.
It was like, I performed at the school play because I was getting attention I wasn't getting at home, you know? Like...
Yeah, it sounds like you know, though, that you've figured this out, that you've done a lot of work or you know, that you've processed it.
And just like having compassion for my mom. Because like, I get that we were both just doing the best we can. And I think about like her being a single parent and like not having the support of like a good sounding board. Not that she would have listened to my family anyway, because my family was like, are you fucking crazy? Which drove a huge wedge between my family and I, because I was like, you're being mean to my mom. Also, I just want to make her happy. There was this point where like the trip almost blew up for us to come out here, and like she was beside herself. And all I could think was like, oh my God, I gotta like make her better. Like whatever can happen to like make this happen, you know? Because it was never about like, what do I want in the future? It was always about this instant gratification, happiness for her. You know,
what
like,
is your relationship like now? Like, have you both done acceptance work on this? I mean, it sounds like
I did a lot of work through AA on it. I still say she's my most undeveloped in inventory. You know what I mean? You do an inventory on everybody, and she's the one who I did first, and I find it really hard to revisit.
Step 4, I believe.
Yes, indeed. And I find it hard to revisit, but now the forgiveness for my dad really helped, like finding forgiveness for my mom. I found this huge forgiveness for my dad. He hasn't really done much for me. He's been totally out of the picture. But
and isn't that funny? That's such the easy way too, right?
Right.
And I don't know if that's the thing with dads, especially when they have girls.
They're just like, yeah. Tell me about that.
I think, well, you usually often have more of a relationship with the same sex parent. I mean, I don't know. It's so complicated. And this is too, but it is good to talk about it. I don't know. I really feel like writing about it too. I don't know if you write. And then also Common Ground. Like, I really recommend again Jennette McCurdy's book. Like, that was so freeing for me hearing some of that. I was like, oh.
I wanted to ask you about that because reading it, like, you know, we were growing up at the same time, but my experience with my mom was so different. My mom was looking out for my well-being. Her mom, it was all about her. Reading that was so painful coming from my perspective, but was it, you said it was freeing? I would imagine reading that would be like harrowing, it's heartbreaking.
Oh gosh, no, I mean,
Seeing the similarities.
Yeah.
But you have to understand the validation of finally having that feeling that you've always felt bad about.
Or even just the simplicity of that we had, you know, sometimes in this life, I don't know if we've not done enough roundtables, enough Disney After Darks, or what the problem is, but hearing just her driving to auditions from Garden Grove was like, oh my God.
Yeah, you said you grew up around there.
I grew up around the same area. Oh yeah, I had those long car rides with my mom. That's rare that other kids are going to auditions in Los Angeles, you know, like on a daily basis, leaving school early. She would just make little comments like that made me feel close to her. And then she has done so much work herself that I was like, ooh, I should do a little bit more of that work. Or just the way she was able to detach but understand. And it sounds like forgive her mom.
That's what it is at the end of the day. I never want her to feel as lonely or as down as I've ever felt, although she has her own work to do and she'll find herself in those positions. But it's not up to me to, like, I don't know. I still really struggle with trying to, like, parent her because I see her, like, out just, like, on her own. And it's, like, my child. You know what I mean? Like, it breaks my heart.
Sometimes I think maybe the only way to really get over it, sadly, and maybe I got this from the book too, is when they're gone. And I think that's because that's the title of her book.
Right.
And her mother was sick for a long time and she dealt with it for a long time. But it's like, I don't think I would have been able to do the podcast, Big Name Bitches, if she was still alive. I don't think I'd make a lot of decisions that I make if she was still alive. I think she would have been in my head and I would have been hated myself, really, really hated myself. And I did for a long, long time.
Her judgment?
Yes, I'd probably still be drinking and drugging for sure. And I think, and I don't want to blame that on her. It's obviously not her fault. I've done enough work to know that. But yeah, there's, I wouldn't, like I said, I'm writing a lot. I don't think also you remember the good things about them most because they're gone. That's kind of freeing too. Wow. But anyway, I don't wish anyone's life short. No, I want everyone to live for a long time. But yeah, mom. Oh, mom. I always do that. Yeah. Oh, mom.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I love you, Mom.
She's gesturing.
I love you.
For those just listening, she's looking down,
I love
saying,
you.
"Oh, Mom."
I love you.
Looking down.
That went over my head.
No, you're tired, honey. They've been here for so fucking long, you guys. They've been here since what, 8?
Yeah, they don't know how many episodes we do in a row.
I get it.
Can we segue to the question on everybody's mind?
Yeah.
Since you grew up so close, is Orlando Brown crazy or is he acting?
I thought you were going to ask me about Raven's Home being canceled.
No, I held that one.
I know.
Or is he acting? Is it all a joke? Is he acting?
I don't think so.
No.
I'm sorry. There's way too much vigor behind that.
We want it to be.
Orlando be locked in though. I'd be like, it can't be serious.
He was always like that though. You know, he was. You're right. There's a good point. It was all, you never knew what was real. And sometimes too, he'd just like lie right to your face. I love him to death. I love him to death. And
you just have to laugh with him.
And I know he loves me. And I know, we used to make music together. We had great times. We used to smoke a lot of weed together, but I think honestly, like, just because I think maybe a little bit, I don't want to misspeak. I love Orlando. I don't know if a little bit of brain chemistry has changed from drugs, but he was already kind of like that, already kind of, how do you say, out there, eccentric, always putting on a show, in some of the funniest ways. He is one of the funniest people. I said was because I don't work with him anymore. Yeah. But is one of the funniest people. And he'd be like, these chains are real. He'd be like, my chains are real. Or, like, tell me how much the diamonds were. And I'm clearly looking at fake jewelry. Just like, well, I don't care, babe. We make the same salary. What the hell?
Why are you trying to lie to impress me?
I love you. I care. Is this real weed or fake weed? That's all I care about. How many seeds are in the blunt, in the Swisher Sweet? That's all I care about. I don't care about your fucking diamonds. Like, that kind of. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like, you couldn't hone it in. And I don't know.
It's hard because those interviews have been internet breaking for the last 6 years.
Because they're crazy. He's hilarious. He really is hilarious. It's like the longest run-on sentence you ever had. And
they're run-ons.
That's kind of the, people are watching a train wreck, which is always a little disgusting. I really truly feel like when I watch that stuff, I think about it and I can't watch it. It makes me really upset. Like, I can't watch the P. Diddy thing. I can't.
No, all of that is rough.
Yeah, I remember once seeing an image of the Twin Towers and somebody, falling from that. And I wished I'd never seen it. I know you have to see these things, but like even in a car wreck, I don't like to look. Anyway, it is amazing that so many people have. And I think it's attributed to, yes, he's crazy. Yes, we already know him and are familiar with him being a child actor, but also he's pretty fucking hilarious.
Hilarious.
Always be funny.
I feel like if he could just put a parody spin on what he's doing,
if he could save his life, if he could save his life, I certainly can't do it. For my own sobriety, and Raven can't do it. I don't know, his mother, Tiffany, I love her. I think sometimes parents even have to give up. I don't know. I don't know what his rock bottom is. I don't know if he's, again, so distorted. I think maybe he needs to be on drugs, needs to be on medication. I don't know, but I love you, Orlando. I love him so much.
Yes, and lots of love.
Lots of love.
I don't care what you say, Devin. We're having him on the pod.
Yeah. Would you?
I will have Orlando on the pod.
hey, I back you up.
Turn up. Hey, 2 against 1. Democracy, baby.
Why not?
Let's
Democracy.
go.
Everyone's just like, what would be the reason of being like a little bit scared, right?
Right.
Like, but I don't know. Like one time I was gonna do a Comic-Con with him. This was so funny. I was with Prestige Talent Agency for like 2 seconds, and they were like, hey, just so you know, Orlando's gonna be there, but he's bringing his own security. And I was like, cool. Is the security like for him to protect me from him and everybody from him? Or is he worried people are going to attack him? And do you know what I'm saying? It was just like the weirdest conversation. I was like, why is he bringing his own security? Like, he's not Beyonce, you know what I mean? Like, I just thought he would be okay. But then I realized he was bringing his own security for, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what that was. I lost my train of thought, y'all.
You never know what people struggle with.
We never did it or anything. Maybe he was just saying that because people were already worried. I think that's what he was saying. Like, don't worry. He was trying to do Comic-Cons and make money like all of us. Yep. And his caveat was like, you can hire me. Don't worry. I'm not a danger. I'm bringing my own security. And I was like, well, that's already a red flag. Yeah. I don't like that. But I don't know.
I have no shade or fear. I just, from watching the interviews, like, I just don't know how to talk to someone who's doing a run-on sentence about something that's fully just not based in reality. Like, I just don't even know how to communicate with someone like that.
We'd only be able to salvage like maybe 5 minutes of the interview.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. We try and connect with people and have a real conversation. I don't know him, so just watching those interviews, I'm like, I don't know what that is.
You don't trust yourself to be able to riff at such a high level of intelligence.
Ooh.
Hey, what if it's just all over our heads?
You gotta have the conversation. Real A-B, don't you, Dad?
If I can't direct the conversation, I don't want no parts of it.
Not direct, just be involved in it in any way.
Orlando.
No, I love it. Yeah, I love the guy.
Your voice is insane. When will you be on Broadway next?
I was trying to think of a joke. That's very sweet.
Yeah, just accept it.
I mean, honestly, I'd love to be on Broadway. I mean, if you haven't, I just won't. I don't want to audition, so I just don't. It's just that simple. I don't want it enough. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to call me to be on Broadway, and I'm not auditioning. So
if you haven't heard her, find her. It's crazy that there's so much acting in the great singing, and like everything's just there. It just pops. It just
that's very sweet
through the screen.
Sorry, I was thinking about what I was
don't watch many things twice, and I've taken your shit back like. And rewatched it.
That's so nice of you. Thank you. I love it. You know, I got an offer to do Anything Goes at a regional house, and it was lovely. It was a nice offer, but I was just, that was an offer, and I don't know what it is. Like, you know, like, how are you feeling about auditioning? Because I was just actually listening to you guys on the way up, and you were talking about growing your beard out because of a movie, a film, and I was like, yeah. And last time I was on your show, you were talking about auditioning, and I wonder how you feel about that, because I don't know if I love it anymore. Like, they were offering me a job I could do. I was like, I could do Anything Goes like the back of my hand, and I could do it better than the people on Broadway. Sorry, but I'm like, who do I need to prove that to? Do I really want to live in that life and be away from my home for who? For who? Random people in Rochester, New York. Sorry. I guess if it was a lot of money, I'd do it, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. There's still a big part of me that wants it, but a big part of me that sort of hates character development.
Oh my God, am I looking into a mirror?
This is like,
yes, right? Like, I'm like, yeah, sometimes I like to sing and dance, but like, I don't know, like, if you had Emma Stone's career, you'd take it, right? Like, if you could be in Pretty Things and I'm going
to be really honest with you. If I had to keep the schedule of an A-list actor, I wouldn't be able to do it.
It's so hard.
I'm
People
not
don't
get
realize.
up and go to all these photo shoots
Oh my gosh.
when I'm already fucking tired.
I know. Can you imagine how tired Zendaya is? She's so tired. Like, it's great. She's happy and grateful.
She's like, I love this life. And I would be like, no. Keep me on an indie set where it's like you work once every 24 years. You know what I mean? Like, get me on a procedural where I know when I'm going to work and when I'm coming home, and it's about the relationship of a family.
And you have a real life outside of it. It doesn't consume you. Your work does not become you.
Agree with you. Like, I don't feel like a bad actor, but I also don't feel the need to act anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's
It makes me a little sad because you've done a lot. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
What I've done is kind of the same. It's all in the realm of Disney. I had a job for a while. I haven't done a lot of guest stars. I haven't really done what you guys have done. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I hope you don't, you know, I think, there's, it's so sad because we do have gifts.
I know.
And it's like what David DeLuise always says, like, it really is our job to give our gifts to the world. I really believe that.
Well, you know what? I feel like I haven't given that gift to myself at all over the time that I do feel like I was asked to perform before I was ever even inspired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
which ruins so much of it. And the rejection like just
lot of
takes you down. It really fucking does. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know that it's like completely out of my life. I'm so like grateful to know that like pull and that desperation that I had towards finding that. It's like, oh, maybe it's so hard to push forward for that because I don't actually want to do it.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Not right now,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like nothing's like worth it for me to just start auditioning again and just get rejected and rejected and rejected. Audition for things that aren't right for me, or not even get auditions because
Right.
there aren't opportunity. Well, or getting mad at your agent because they're not coming in. Like it's such an awful life. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I so agree.
Yeah. Anywho.
Yeah, I still hold just a gentle reflection to Lindsay of holding just support that she finds her way to just the projects that mean something.
But,
to
Yeah.
you.
but there's something to
'Cause
be
she's
said about his
so- 'cause
childhood,
she's
his
so
upbringing.
good.
You
But
are.
also she's so good.
But it's like, did your parents? They totally didn't say everything you did was like amazing. But were they probably like, that was great. That was great. Like if I didn't book something, like my mom had it in for me. It was my fault. She did not understand that this was subjective. That it didn't matter if I was the most talented to you
Yeah,
or
it's
to
not what
other.
it's about.
Yeah. So that just ruined me. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but
It's like, don't make
ruined
me shoulder your disappointment too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but they were doing. I hate that they did the best they could. They didn't do the best they could, but that's okay too.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's okay too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You did zero research into being a parent, huh?
Did your mom move out here, or were you guys already based in California?
No, we were based. Her family was living in California. My parents met in Israel and ended up living in Holland. That's where I was born. But we moved to America when I was very young and lived most of our life in America. Yeah, no. So she went, but she was also like incredibly supportive and smart and amazing and taught me so many things. Like I don't want to just make it one sided.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
But the trauma that we're still working through in
Yeah,
therapy is
it's
like the
lifelong.
other stuff. It's just like that one dose of like, oh, that hit me forever. On top of the 100 things that my mom made me feel safe and that I still feel such a heart connection to her. It's just been a difficult relationship.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It makes me think too. Like I just want to say this. Like what it would take to reverse how much negativity I feel when I'm auditioning. How should I feel about myself? It's like, well, just, I could do work on that. I could keep my agent and do work on that. But it's so exhausting that I think it's better to almost release it. Like, I don't want to do any more work on accepting myself so I don't feel so bad when I'm rejection. Or, well, why don't you forget about the audition right away? It's like, that's not where I'm coming from. So maybe, you get it. You get it. Anyway,
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel very good.
I'm definitely not sitting around watching the Tonys desperate to be in anything. It
Right.
sounds fun, but if I ever got there, I would start auditioning again, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, releasing the one of it, I get why so many people do, because it's just painful to hold it. It's painful to audition.
It is
When
painful.
you've been doing it your whole life. Like you would think there's probably an idea out there that you get so used to it that it's easy. It's like the opposite. Like every audition and the fewer and far between, there's more energy to get yourself mental, because you're like probably fine most of the time as an adult, as yourself. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm fine. And an audition will send you through a fucking
Oh, it will send me. I judge
emotional
myself. I hate
loop.
myself. I think I'm a totally different, untalented, horrible, ugly person. Jonna, my fiance, he's auditioning. He's doing a lot of acceptance work. Like, what if this is it? What if this is your life, just auditioning and you get a part every now and then? Like, what if you're not going to be Ryan Reynolds? Like, what does that look like? And if you can't be happy, then I don't know, I would say that to anybody, not just in this business,
Yeah.
but like, what if this is life? What if this is it? And you got to figure it out. Like, and also it's okay to feel pain. Like, oh God, what is this it? Is this it? Sometimes you have to get through that. And I really did with auditioning. It was just way too negative, too much of like an addiction, like a drug,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
yeah.
especially there's very few rooms you go into anymore. So it's just you doing that by yourself, going through this process, sending it off into the ether and not hearing anything back. And it's just like, I definitely get that sometimes. I mean, I still love it and am still deep on the
know,
pursuit,
I know.
but there's still that thing of like, sometimes I pass on auditions because I don't have the time in my day to do the emotional work that I know I'm going to need to do just to do the fucking tape and release it after.
Oh,
You know what I
God,
mean?
yes, the acting on the actor.
I can't go through this process of my own demons right now. Like, no, I'm
And then
good.
it's like, is it really greener on the other side? Like, I just saw this quote from Bowen
not.
Yang saying he was really distraught or something. I don't want to misquote him, but basically, he had a really hard time filming Saturday Night Live in New York and then also being in the Wicked film, which filmed in London. So every week he'd be on a plane back and forth, and it really did a number on his mental health. Now, reading that as an outsider, it's like, ungrateful much? No, not really. Not really like, what, on first class every week? No. But that is fucking hard.
On
Like,
your- on
the
your
grass is
nervous
always
system,
greener. He was like,
that's-
and he probably was insecure. Am I even going to be good? And he didn't get to give good time to SNL. So maybe he thought, like, I don't know. Who knows?
That would be terrifying, actually.
Who knows? Like, Zendaya's tired. She's happy, I'm sure. I have no idea about her life. And I always use her as an example just because she's doing so well, and she seemed to sort of, just become Zendaya, like Cher and Madonna.
I feel like she took
She's a
time
one-name
out
word.
after the
Yeah.
show she did. You know what I'm saying? Because she wasn't around. Bella Thorne really came out like strong after riding
right
on the
after.
success of that show. And
Right.
Zendaya took 3 or 4 years, I want to say. Like she was doing stuff.
and was like
but-
modeling into going another avenue.
Totally.
you know?
And she just came out as an adult, as this classy, like she was dressed,
right.
Yeah, she was a totally formed
Human woman.
movie star.
Yeah, and had a
Fucking
sounds like
movie
a
star.
good
Fucking
father.
movie star.
And
Yeah.
And her work on Euphoria is truly some of the best acting work I've ever seen in my life.
oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, if
can't
you've
watch
never,
I haven't watched it. Yeah,
Don't want it.
yeah, there's a lot of drugs and all sorts of shit, but
Yeah, it's triggering for me.
My word, those 2 seasons, her work is like it's magnificent. I go, oh, that's some of the best shit I've ever
That's
seen.
why she won,
Like, ever.
right? Or
Yeah. No, it's phenomenal. And that shit still. Do you still? Lindsay
Yeah.
doesn't. I still like when I watch a great performance. Like I still love.
I
it.
still
like,
feel
it,
that.
It inspires.
Well,
I'm
that's
like,
a
I'm
thing
like,
too.
Oh,
I love that because
beautiful.
I love that you're auditioning and you can still do that. Like you can step away from it too. 'Cause
Yeah, I'm still a fan.
I feel like I can be more of a fan and really enjoy the craft and the art and be like, okay, well, I can't do that. And now I'm not even comparing myself as much. Like, well, I should be in the place. Like I can actually just enjoy it from afar. And I do feel like what I'm trying to think of the last performance. Like, I'm watching Outer Range right now.
yeah, yeah.
It's such a cool thing.
Such a weird, cool show,
Yeah,
yeah.
sci-fi. I love that. I'm trying to think of. I mean, I've seen everything. God, it's so hard to think of something though, right? When you're,
Yeah.
when you're trying to. I'm trying to think of a performance
but it
that
can
really
still
moved me.
move you.
Yeah. How about you, Daniel? Have you left us? Are you still here, honey?
What do you mean with the acting?
Honey,
You're talking about
he's
this
like,
thing.
It's 11:30
What's
p.m.
happening? Hey, you know
What
me, I'm
time
quick to
is it?
segue. I'm like,
He's
did the timer stop yet?
Yeah, Daniel.
So you got somewhere to be, right?
Daniel, do this thing.
I'm gonna let you
I'm
go.
not gonna hold you.
We'll be in the
If
middle.
you're ready to
Is that what
leave,
it is? I'm gonna let you go.
I'm gonna
Fuck
let you go now.
Oh, nobody lets me go.
It's like, Daniel, we have covered the exact amount of sentences that it takes to
No, I'm gonna let you
for
go.
what you
I've got
called.
things to do.
And now you're gone.
Before we get to the tips, because we got to get to the tips.
Tips.
Can you give me your favorite thing about being on That's So Raven, and then your least favorite thing about being on That's So Raven?
But before you do that, I just got to give Daniel shit. If we hit the
try to gloss over it.
Yeah, if we hit the 40-minute mark, like when you were talking about your mom dying, Daniel would be like,
Well,
time
that
for
time."
tips. Daniel will just
Hey,
segue.
I'm a man that's
just
about my
end the
schedules now. It's about that time.
It's unbelievable.
Be prepared.
Uncanny.
He's been getting up that old dusty
Wow.
trail.
He does it
It's
sometimes,
like
and I'm like,
something's waiting for him at home. And that's what's happening,
yeah.
right? I'm like, what's waiting for you?
he does it sometimes, and I'm like, bro, we're in the middle of
We're
a
at the
different
juicy
moment, man.
Yeah, read the moment, read the room.
But yeah,
Timing.
okay,
It's
what was
called
your question?
timing.
Favorite part of
Oh
That's
yes,
So Raven?
yeah. For
And least favorite. No, I'm just kidding.
no, favorite and least favorite.
great.
Yeah.
These are going to be very obvious, kind of both. It's like in an interview, what's your worst quality is like, I work too hard. It's a little bit like this. Like
I care too much.
I care too
work
much. Yeah,
too
right. It's not annoying. I'm going to be trivial too. The money, the opportunity, and the monies. Right. So I have money. I have a home, and it's because of that show.
Oh, you got paid residuals, huh?
I got paid residuals. I was
Must be
still
nice.
SAG-AFTRA. Well, yeah. It was
that's
SAG-AFTRA.
Wow.
And then, of course, the spinoff coming back. So the show producing other opportunities. The fact that I'm able to be on this podcast is because I was on That's So Raven.
Right.
So constant money. You guys, I'm worried about you. Like, I feel like I need to send you some money. Like, Zell you. I feel like a Zell is coming your way.
Big dog.
I'm sending you my Venmo. You do.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Venmo, I can't get on Venmo. I get like fan people. Like, do people try to get on?
Oh.
I
I've had some people
occasionally
ask
get
me.
requests from someone, and I'm like, bitch,
Bruh.
I need it.
I
Send it to
know.
me.
And then I'm like, ugh, I
People
know.
are like, oh, I'm graduating. Could you? No.
I know. I
brother.
know. People
I'm
are,
doing a podcast.
yeah, I'll Venmo you. I'm like, I can't
'Cause
get.
I had no
can't.
money.
Yeah, I'll tell you, but I can't Venmo you.
That's great.
I'm worried about you guys.
We're worried too.
That's so funny you said that.
Yes. Okay, so your favorite thing.
So my favorite thing was the money,
Making the money.
the security,
Opportunity.
and the more
No, it's
opportunities.
incredible.
And then also on that same side, my not least favorite thing is the damage it does to child actors being on that set, being with so many men around me, so many men who aren't parents or father figures, but men who are working with you and only being seen as a child actor forever. And it's something you can't shake. It's something I love, but it's also something you can't shake. So it really is a double-edged sword. And you know all about that, right? Especially you, Daniel.
Especially me. Yeah, I'm playing the little nerdy guy. Yeah.
No.
I'm the little nerdy guy forever.
Dude,
No.
it's so weird.
You're not little.
It's so
But
You're not
burn.
it's so weird with that because I have so much love for my life and being a child actor and this show in particular, Neds. But we weren't in the convention circuit. We had never done it. We just did our first con and we had such a good time. NostalgiaCon San Antonio. Shout out to everyone we met.
Yes.
Such a love for the show. It was great to meet the fans. Like we have a good time wherever we go. I truly had fun and we're doing this.
How much money did you make?
Not telling me.
How much money?
I truly
More than a couple months of the.
more than this pod ever.
Well, dang.
No, it's just a real part of this, like the child success. The further you get away from it, like I said, and I of course preface this with like, I choose this and love doing this, but then there's an aspect of me that's just like, that is so in the past. It's so it's my childhood.
It's hard to move on. It's hard to even
Right.
stay in the present. You know,
Arrested Develop, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. How many times can I say, "Do you carry a lunchbox?" You know what I mean? A lot. Reach me on Cameo, guys.
Exactly.
I love it.
Anneliese Vanderpool.
Exactly. Check us all out on Cameo.
Yeah.
We like to.
No, totally. And I love making people happy. That's a great
I do
side
too.
job, and you get to
That's
make
what
people
I
happy.
wrong with that. Yeah,
Of
it's
course,
my
of
favorite
course.
part of it.
And it's my fault that I didn't get a euphoria, that I didn't. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody's fault that I went to drugs and didn't. You know that Bella Thorne went to drugs. That we went to. It's like such a fucking repetitive thing, right? We didn't get out of it, but some people do. You know, good for them. And people love a comeback. I could always do it. I could work my ass off, and you know,
If that's what you want.
yeah.
I don't know if I'm inspired by that statement or disgusted with myself. I'm joking. But we like to end the episode
with a tip.
He did it. He did that weird segue, you guys. You know what I'm going to tell people I went to Neds and Daniel's a fucking prick.
Oh no!
He rushed me.
I have the best intentions. I swear to God.
basically ignored me. He ignored me the entire interview.
He's too above it.
I'm due for a good smear campaign. It's my turn.
All right, segue.
But a tip.
Okay, here's the thing. Try to decipher what forgiveness is in your life, because I heard about forgiveness ever since I was a tot, and I was like, what the is it? I don't get it, right? And then it, like, just because I kept the question in my mind, like, over the years, is something I wanted so bad that I feel like at some point during the work, it actually just went, and like, I get it, and it's not words that you can use, it's just this, like, feeling, and it's pretty magical. So I don't know, keep forgiveness at the forefront of your mind. It's like made my adulthood better.
I love that.
That's real. I'm just gonna throw out practice gratitude. Sometimes life can throw a lot of obstacles at you, and you don't know, which way to go. But what you can do in the present is be thankful for the things that you do have. And keep chipping away at your goals, guys. That's all.
Oh, I love it.
All right. My tip is memorize what the hands and feet of celebrities look like. Now I know what your feet look like.
They're so small.
Yeah, they're little.
They're so small.
No, my real tip is pay the fuck attention while you're driving. Because the other night, I'm going through a green light, and this motherfucking Tesla takes their left, like, while I'm in the intersection, and almost hit me. And that was fucking insane, because it was my green light. And holy shit, pay the fuck attention.
Did that have anything to do with this episode?
With this, the tip
Was
has to
this
do with
just
the
a tip
episode.
from?
It doesn't have to do with this episode.
Oh, it does?
I'm giving a tip. No, it doesn't have to do.
They need to know this.
I'm talking to them out there.
That's
Pay
my
attention.
green light.
Oh, you finished that Celsius, didn't you?
I'm fucking wired. I can run through a wall.
Or a red light.
Oh, can I leave with
I
you?
have had 500 milligrams of caffeine today.
I love it. I love it. I was
I'm
trying to think of a good
sweating.
tip.
Yeah, just you.
I don't. This should be like
You
something
are
funny or quick.
well.
You don't have
No,
to be prolific.
forget
You're good.
funny. Forget
Can
anything.
I read a parable?
Yes.
Why not?
Wait, is it too long? Let me
No,
see.
read a parable.
It
I love
actu-
a parable. Oh my God, that's pages. Go on.
Okay. Long ago, there was a widowed Chinese farmer. The farmer and his only son labored through the cold winds of winter and have you heard this one?
I've heard, love it.
And scorching rays of summer with their last remaining horse. One day, the son didn't lock the gate of the stable properly, and the horse bolted away. When neighbors learned what happened, they came to the farmer and said, "Oh, what sadness this is! Without your horse, you'll be unable to maintain the farm. What a failure that your son did not lock the gate properly. This is a great tragedy." The farmer replied, "Maybe yes, maybe no." The next day, the missing horse returned to the farmer's stable, bringing along with it 6 wild horses. The farmer's son locked the gate of the stable firmly behind all 7 horses. When neighbors learned what happened, they came to the farmer and said, "What happiness this brings! With 7 horses, you'll be able to maintain the farm with the 3 of them and sell the rest for huge profits. What a blessing!" And the farmer said, "Maybe yes, maybe no." The next day, the farmer's son was breaking in one of the wild horses. The son got thrown from the horse and fell hard on the rocks and broke his leg. When the neighbors learned what happened, they came to the farmer and said, "Oh, what great sadness this is. You'll be unable to count on your son's help. What a failure. What a tragedy." The farmer replied, "Maybe yes, maybe no." The next day, a general came from the Imperial Chinese Army, arrived to conscript Sorry, you guys, I can't read. Conscript all the young men of the village into the army. Their assignment was to fight on the front lines of the battle against a terrifying enemy of overwhelming force. The farmer's son, because of his broken leg, was not taken. Mm-hmm. When the neighbors learned what happened, they came to the farmer and said, "What a great joy. Your son avoided facing certain death on the front lines of the battle. What a blessing." The farmer replied, "Maybe yes, maybe no." Okay, sorry, that was so long, but it's just saying you have no idea what tomorrow brings. You just don't. You really don't. I lost my mother in a car accident, all of a sudden, Mom. And
I'm so sorry. I wouldn't have brought that up so bluntly.
you guys, I'm so fine. This was
but
8 years
I just
ago,
want
and
you to know.
I've done a lot of work, and I love my mom, and I'm really fine. No, and I'm really fine. But that it's just you have to live in the present, and it's just what you were saying. If you've been in AA, if you know about service, that true great happiness comes from giving back. It really does. It's this weird thing, but money doesn't bring you happiness. It makes things easier. You have to live in the present. All that matters is your family and your health. And if you don't have family, your chosen family. But my gosh, just stay here. I know people have it hard. It's easy to say, stay in the present. Well, take a walk, go swimming. People have hard lives. But if the people who have better lives can be grateful, they can give back, we can be even stronger.
And I love that parable too, because it's like the blessings will come and the tragedy will come, and they'll keep turning into each other.
This too shall pass. This too shall pass.
pass.
The great stuff passes. I think a lot of people think you never know what's around the corner. They think it's like fearful, but what can be around the corner can also be really, really great. Yeah. But it's I hope the lesson isn't don't be happy for that, because something shitty is going to happen. It's all how you
But
look
it's
at
like,
it.
don't get caught in the hate. Don't get caught in the hype. You know
Or
what I
in
mean?
the moments. They're all momentary.
And I heard Julia Dreyfus say this recently: have fun at all costs. Now, that doesn't mean buy a bunch of drugs and go fuck up. But if you can really look at what that's saying and take it on the positive, it's really, that's what life is about. It's about having fun, doing projects you care about. It's not about money. It's about having fun, if you can.
part.
Easy to say when you're financially secure.
I know. I mean, that is a really great point. It's like, must be real rich, right?
Thanks for coming on.
There's only one Anneliese Vanderpool,
That's-
and
oh
she's
my
here on
gosh.
Neds, guys.
Oh,
I
so
love
sweet.
you. I had no idea.
you're the
I mean, I
best.
knew you were dynamic through the
Electric.
screen, but
Stop
electric.
it.
All those things.
I'm so proud of you guys. This podcast is off the chain. You guys are doing so well. I looked. You guys have like 400,000 fucking followers on Instagram. That's insane.
Thanks. Yeah, we have
for
a lot of fun.
podcast. That's rare. Like really, really mazel tov. Mazel
Thank
tov.
you.
We have
mazel
a lot
tov.
of fun, and there's so much love for this show.
Yeah.
That's what really has carried,
Yeah,
So,
and
it's
you
been
guys
fun.
are just great together. This was so easy.
It's so
easy.
fun.
Yeah.
You
It's so
too.
fun to have you on.
Yeah. Thanks.
And also to have you in our childhood. Like, I mean,
That's
dude,
what I'm saying. For real.
Such an energy.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
it. Listen, I want to be. I
Childhood,
want to.
teenhood. I just watched you, and I was like,
You can't be recreated.
Damn.
Oh, stop it! I want to be here when O is here.
Well, Big O. We're getting Orlando on the show.
He's like, no, I want to be here, yeah.
Yeah.
Oprah?
You know.
Yeah, we'll have Oprah on here one day.
Love you guys.
Thank you guys for listening. Check
you
out
guys.
Anneliese on all the things
Love
and
you
Big Name
guys.
Bitches.
So fun.
Like, subscribe. We love you. Hey! Thanks for watching this week's episode. Guys,
shout out.
is it time for
Super Friends Dance.
Thank you for being patrons. We love you. Special shout out. Thanks for making this this podcast possible. Go to patreon.com/nedspod
That part.
if you want more from
That
us
part.
and to support us. We love you.
Love
Thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.